Hello everyone, welcome back to my vlog channel. Today I am bringing you another one of my seasonal TBR installments. Spring is here, or at least apparently it's here, even though there's snow outside my window right now. Yeah, we got hit with like a 10-inch snowstorm just last weekend, so it doesn't feel like spring, but it is spring. So today I'm going to be talking about the 10 books that I want to read this spring, which is going to be, you know, books that I want to get through sometime during April, May, or June. I am so much of a mood reader that I just don't do well with TBRs. My Aquarius placements don't like a TBR, so I don't set monthly TBRs, but I feel like seasonal TBRs are fun, and I usually do end up reading like at least half of the books that I put on my seasonal TBR, which is a win for me. Right now, these are the 10 books that are like at the top of my list. So naturally, I really hope to read our April book club pick, which is The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. This is a new adult fantasy romance about a girl named Araya, who is a human girl that was raised by a vampire king. She was like orphaned as a child, and this vampire king took her in and raised her amongst vampires. It gives very much Jude Duarte from The Folk of the Air, who's like my favorite female lead in a fantasy series. Sorry, Sushi's here. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, his little tail. Hi, buddy. You come to hang out? Oh, my bookie. What are you doing? And every 100 years or something like that, there is this big tournament held by the goddess of death, Nyaxia, who like rules over all the vampires. And it's a fight to the death, Hunger Games style tournament where if you're the last one standing, Nyaxia will grant you one wish. And in this tournament, she meets a vampire named Rain, and I think it's like an enemies to lovers romance within this tournament. Just basically think Peeta and Katniss if it were vampires, and written by Sarah J. Maas, kind of a vibe. I love vampires. It's like one of the top things that will get me interested in reading books. Maybe it was just my Twilight phase when I was younger. I don't know what it is. Vampires are just hot and I love them and I'm just very interested. So this is our book club pick for April. Again, I am 26 pages in and I'm really loving the writing thus far, but we'll see how it goes. Speaking of Miss Sarah J. Maas, if you watched my reading fantasy books for 24 hours video, you would know that I'm currently making my way through the Throne of Glass series. So naturally, the next book in the series that I need to read is Queen of Shadows. So Queen of Shadows is on my spring TBR, bestie, you already know. I have also started this one. I am 70 pages in. As you can probably tell, I have been having this problem recently where I just start like 7 books at a time and I'll get like 50 pages in and then just like put it down and start something else, and it's not good. I need to stop doing it, but this is the 5th book in the Throne of Glass series and I'm very excited to continue it and hopefully maybe I can even finish it this spring. I don't know. We'll see. I read the first 4 books within the span of a weekend, so who knows? Maybe we can keep up that momentum. I don't know. If you somehow have not heard of this series, it is a fantasy epic series that follows a girl by the name of Selena Sardathian, and she is Otterland's assassin. So she's like the best assassin. And in the first book, she joins a tournament to become the king's champion, which is like the king's personal assassin. And then the series just goes on from there. Like that is like the tiniest little glimpse, minuscule, into what goes on in this series. But there is magic, there is romance, there is fairies, there are dragons, there's so many things. There are zombies. In a way, like there are so many things in this series, so if you're looking for a good, fun fantasy series to pick up, Sarah J. Maas can do you no wrong, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna be continuing it. Following the same fantasy vibe that we've been on, my next fantasy read that I want to read sometime this spring is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. I think within the past like 4 months, everyone started talking about this again. Maybe it's because there's a new one coming out. I believe it's like a trilogy. I asked on Instagram like what my subscribers' favorite books are because I want to do a video reading subscribers' favorite books on my ASMR channel. And one of my subscribers, Evie, hey queen, if you see this. And then when I went into Barnes & Noble, they had this gorgeous paperback exclusive edition and it has a pink map. It has a pink map, you guys. It's so pretty and I am going to read it. I don't know too much about the plot. All I know is our main character, Evangeline, she discovers that the person that she loves is going to get married to someone else. She is desperate to stop this wedding, so she makes a deal with the Prince of Hearts. I really have no idea. I like to go into fantasy books especially pretty blind, but that's basically all I know. She makes a deal with the Prince of Hearts to stop this guy that she likes from getting married. I've heard that this has that really strong fairy tale energy. I know Evangeline's hair is pink, so that's cute. Now let's talk about some romance reads. First we have an ARC, which is very exciting. This is my first ever physical ARC that I've received from a publisher. So that was really cool. I feel like a real booktuber now. Shout out to Dana. You know who you are. You're an icon. This is a contemporary romance that comes out on July 11th. So I just want to get it read before then. So perfect, read it in the spring. All I know is she is a wedding planner and he is a florist and they are working together at the same wedding. I love that. I love romance books that center around a wedding or just a wedding environment because it's romantic. Like all I needed to see was this cover. Like when I saw this tall, dark, handsome man with long hair and tattoos that works with flowers, I was sold. I was sold. Next, we have a Sapphic Romance. This was actually sent to me by a subscriber. Thank you, Taylor, at Cruel Summers on Instagram. Thank you for sending me this. As a bisexual woman, it's about time that I really get into some Sapphic Romance. So I am like shocked and embarrassed to say that I have not yet read a published Sapphic Romance. So I need to get on that. This is the one that has intrigued me the most that's like been popular and circulating. If you have good Sapphic Romance recs, leave them in the comments, of course. What we're learning from this video is all you really need to do to get me interested in a book is put someone tall, dark, handsome with tattoos on the cover. And I'm there. This also centers around a wedding. I just remembered that. So we have two wedding romances with like purple covers. Love that for me. Delilah goes back to her small town home where she grew up to photograph her sister's wedding. And that's where she rekindles with Claire, who is a single mother and I think a friend of Delilah's sister. Super excited. Give me the spicy Sapphic Romance this spring. I'm here for it. Next, we have another Sapphic Romance. This one was in my Aardvark book club box. Shout out to Aardvark Books. If you're looking for a new book subscription, they're not sponsoring this video, but definitely check them out. Very similar to Book of the Month. You can choose from a selected list of new release titles, and this just came out, and I'm very happy that Aardvark sent it to me, so shout out to Aardvark Books. This is For Her Consideration by Amy Spalding. This is one that I do not want to read the synopsis for. I want to go in blind, but I know it's like just over 300 pages. And man, I love a good 300-page romance. Like that is the sweet spot for me, so I'll definitely pick this up. I feel like this will just be a good vibe to pick up when I need something light and fun and sapphic. Sorry I can't give you too much of an explanation. I love going into my books knowing absolutely nothing. I feel like I have the best time. The last romance that I have on my spring TBR is a historical romance. I recently read my first historical romance. I'd absolutely loved it, shockingly. I did not think I was going to, but I loved it. So I've been on the hunt for more feminist historical romances, and I was recommended this, and so I picked it up. This is Bringing Down the Duke by Evie Dunmore. It follows a woman named Annabelle who was one of the first students to study at Oxford University in 1879. In order to get her scholarship, she has to recruit men of influence to help campaign for the women's suffrage movement. So she decides that she is going to try and recruit the Duke of Montgomery, who is the commander of British politics. It says, locked in a battle with rising passion and impossible attraction, Annabelle will learn just what it takes to topple a duke. This book does look really cute with my nails though, I can't even lie. Anyway, sorry. I'm excited to read this, but I'm also a little bit nervous because I just know that the Duke of Montgomery as a character will make or break this book for me because I cannot deal with misogynistic men in romance. So we'll see how it goes. This isn't a series, it's the A League of Extraordinary Women series, so I hope I love it so that I can read the rest of the series. The next book on my spring TBR is kind of a romance. It has a romance in it, but it's not a romance book. I believe this is technically classified as literary fiction or just general fiction. This is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. I finally got my hands on the paperback. I had to order this from Book Depository. Rest in peace to Book Depository. Jeff Bezos, you will be dealt with. Trust. Like, what the fuck? This is probably like one of the prettiest books I own. Like, the holographic, oh my God, it's so gorgeous. Anyway, this follows our two main characters, Sadie and Sam, who meet in a hospital when they were kids, and they bond quickly over their love of video games. And then 8 years later, the pair reconnect and they decide to develop a video game together. And I think this book just follows their entire journey. It talks about love, relationships, money, success, fame, so many things. And this is a 5-star prediction. Like, I am so excited for this book. The only reason I haven't read it yet is because I'm so excited. I'm anticipating it so much that I just keep putting it off because it like stresses me out a little bit. Like, if this is not a 5-star read, I will probably cry. You know, I love video games, I love romance, I love literary fiction. I feel like I'm gonna enjoy every single thing about this. And so I'm putting a lot of faith. I'm putting a lot of faith into this book's pages, and I really hope that it gives me everything I need. The only horror book that I have on my spring TBR, it is Bunny by Mona Awad. I'm not gonna lie, I have started this. I am currently 70 pages in. This is another one of those many books that I start reading and then I stop reading and then I don't pick up for a long time. Yeah. I'm actually planning on buddy reading this spring with my best friend Mana, so this will definitely be read. Like, this will definitely be one of the books that I do read this month or the next month. This is a horror novel about this girl Samantha who is studying at this really prestigious writing school. And within the school, there are these group of women that call themselves like the Bunnies, and they all hang out together. It's like this cultish clique, and they kind of start inviting Samantha like into their group. And that's all I know thus far. I feel like this is a book that people either love or hate, and I'm really excited to see where I sit on the spectrum. I will say though, I'm 70 pages in and I'm not liking it. I'm not liking it thus far, so I am a little bit nervous, but you never know. And lastly, the 10th and final book that is on my spring TBR is a classic. It is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. I don't know how I have not read this yet. I need to get on my classic game. I'm a huge reader, but in high school, anytime I would get assigned a classic, like at least 7 times out of 10, I would just Sparks Note that shit. Like, it was so bad. And now looking back, I should have just read them. Fleur, ASMR Fleur, she talked about this in her March reading wrap up and was speaking so highly of it, about how much of a feminist novel it is and how she loves Jane so much and that it was just so amazing. And I had bought this gorgeous edition like a few months ago by Penguin Books. Oh, I love these Penguin Classic Deluxe editions. I need to own all of them. But anyway, I had bought this and it's been sitting on my shelf and I knew I wanted to read it and annotate it, but I was not motivated to until I watched Fleur's video. Like, iconic, legendary. I was like, oh, okay, right to the top of my TBR it goes. So I really do want to read this soon. I'm so excited to fill up all these deckled pages with a bunch of annotations and tabs. Those are the 10 books that I hopefully would like to read sometime this spring. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what books you have on your TBR for the upcoming season in the comments below, please. I always love to know what y'all are reading, what y'all recommend. Let's chat down below. Don't be afraid. I don't bite unless you're into that. I will see you all in my next video. I'm sending you lots of love and light, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye!